Daylight says Drake's biggest mistake in the Kendrick battle was the line about slaves.
What do you think was, and it's just from an artistic standpoint, was the biggest mistake that Drake made?
The biggest mistake that Drake made in that whole beef was when he said he rapping like he wanted to get the slaves free. That was the biggest mistake. If he wouldn't have said that, Not Like Us wouldn't even exist.
How so?
Because, and I'm gonna break it down to y'all. When he said you rapping like you want to get the slaves free, all black people said, so if he raps like he want to get the slaves free, and then you rap, then that means you rap like you want us to stay slaves.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Continue.
That led to Kendrick's whole third verse in Like Us. Nigga doubled down on calling us some slaves. He not like us.
You about to get the slaves free. Always rapping like you about to get the slaves free.
So it seems to me he is mocking Drake, that is mocking Kendrick Lamar for being a conscious rapper, speaking to his people, black people. And so when Drake says he's trying to free the slaves, he's calling black people slaves because Kendrick Lamar raps to black people, right? Or if he's not talking about black people of today, he's talking about black people who were slaves when there was slavery. So anyway, there's no way out of that. Can anybody explain what was Drake talking about?
What up, words? Boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapp to CLBMG gang. Listen, hit that membership button. I appreciate you. Daylight, the rapper Daylight, the battle rapper Daylight, who is, to me, in many ways, certifiably insane. And just being honest, I used to think this guy was crazy. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same guy who used to have an alter ego who was white, and he would go on Vlad TV with the white alter ego and have these crazy takes. I really was like, this guy is certifiably insane. But Daylight is nice with the pen, and a lot of people have credited Daylight with penning some of Drake's best diss records. A lot of people say, which I'm still trying to get confirmation, that Daylight wrote Back to Back, which is Drake's opus as a rapper. If you want to say his greatest record in battling, his greatest victory was Back to Back. Me personally, if someone's greatest victory as a battle rapper was written by someone else, then that I have to remove that as your greatest victory. But I can't, because it's already in stone, and we already know Back to Back was the nail in the coffin for Meek. Meek was never the same after that, and Drake rode that win all the way up until this last year, where Kendrick actually put the nail in the coffin on all of that good juice that he got from that back-to-back win. But Daylight, in his own right, is a vicious battle rapper, and he has something to say about the Kendrick Lamar beef. I want to read something, and we're going to have a conversation. Daylight says the beef with Kendrick Lamar isn't necessarily over for Drake. There is no die in the internet world. Daylight has weighed in on the viral feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, sharing his stance on the Toronto rapper's biggest mistake. Speaking to Curtis King for a new interview, he pointed to a line in Drake's song Family Matters and suggested that that's what backfired. He also noted that he should have turned to some of his friends who are battle rappers for advice. So let me just say this. I do hear of battle rappers getting in rooms when they're getting prepared for these battles, these huge battles. You might get 4 or 5 of them in a room doing a powwow, and they start to put ideas together and things like that. I'm going to be honest, I never knew that until, I want to say, about 2 or 3 years ago, that was an acceptable thing in battle rap. And it just going to be honest, you could say whatever. You could say, Challz, you're not being fair with that. But I thought that was kind of weird. And I know battle has new rules, and I know these guys rewrite this stuff, and they make stuff, you know, it changes with the times. These battles are for big money, gang. $50,000, $100,000 if you lose and you win. So I get it. These battles are big time, and I don't know if you split money with these guys to help you. But I'm just going to be honest, and I know I'm old school. I am an old head. I 100% cannot imagine getting in a room and bouncing ideas off each other for a battle that I got to stand up there by myself and fight. I know I know some of you going to be like, Charles, you're bugging out. That's how it's done. Get with the time. That's how great records are done. That's how Drake makes these great records. That's how Kanye makes these great records. Some of your favorite artists, they powwow, they get together. Okay, that's fine for a record. But for me, with battling, I take it way too serious. And I feel like from back in my day, when I stood up nose to nose with you, like when I walked all the way up to Carriage Hill to battle Bebo, even though Bebo ain't come outside, I had my own raps. I was ready to battle Bebo, right? It wasn't my man helping me. It's blasphemy to me. And like I said, I know it's old school. It's blasphemy for me to get raps from somebody to battle another person. I'm just sorry. That's like hearing that Nas sat down and had Black Thought and 3-4 other people in the room helping him write Ether. That would change the entire scope of Ether. I'm just going to be honest. Maybe Jungle threw him a line or two. That's one thing. Your brother in the room, he's like, yo, talk about this nigga nose, B. Like, then, okay, Camel knows that. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, he didn't write the whole shit for you or half of it, right? So what I'm saying is I kind of find it, even that the battlers do it, it's just a little off-putting to me. I know I got off subject, but I feel like I'm just rooted in this shit a certain kind of way. And it kind of like, it won't sit well with me to know that your battle raps that you're supposed to be saying as you got help with it. But the battlers apparently are doing that. You can get in the comments and tell me, well, some of them do it, some of them don't. But I know for a fact, I've heard battlers say, we were in the living room, me, Charlie Clips, da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be in the living room bouncing stuff off each other, and I guess that's okay. That's just like in chess matches. When they do these international chess matches, like you go watch these chess people, Botez twins and all these different people, because I watch chess. So when they do their chess things, before they go fight another grandmaster, there'll be a bunch of them in a room plotting that match out and helping each other. So it's like, okay, it's not always just my brain, your brain. Sometimes these things are necessarily, you plot them out and you have a team. So apparently this is what happens in battling now in different forms of music. And I know I went all the way around to get to the point, but Daylight allegedly helped this guy with his rapping. So he's speaking on it. And I feel like he can have the authority to say what he's saying about this. So let me continue. The biggest mistake that Drake made in that whole beef was when he said, you rapping like you want to get the slaves free. That was the biggest mistake. Daylight said, if he wouldn't have said that, Not Like Us wouldn't even exist. I'm gonna break it down to y'all. When he said, you rapping like you want to get the slaves free, all black people said, so he raps like he want to get the slaves free, then that means you rap like you want us to stay slaves. That is a fact. Most people took offense with that line. And when I heard it, I took offense. I was like, I wasn't mad about it. I was like, that's low-key not good. That's dumb. Why would you say it? Like, I'm searching my mind. Like, why would you? Oh, you're trying to discredit that he's like conscious. Oh, that's dumb, right? So one of the worst things you could try to do is, back in the day when it was fucking 8th grade, yeah, you could bully a nerd. You could bully the smart kid. Oh, you fucking nerd. No. Yeah, then that's okay. It's funny to a room full of middle schoolers. Oh, it's awesome. Grown people, you can't make fun of smart people to grown people. And even a lot of kids they were offended. A lot of Gen Zers was like, Drake is dumb for saying it. Like, you offended a lot of people. So yes, it was an awful thing to say. Because not awful because you were mean. It's awful because it makes you look dumb. Because what's the alternative of freeing the slaves? Making them slaves. He called you colonize on the next song. But let me continue. That led to Kendrick's whole third verse on Not Like Us. The dude doubled down on calling us some slaves. Not like he's not like us. He's not black. That led to the whole song. So he's basically saying that little comment led to Not Like Us, which is going to stain this guy forever, which he's now in court trying to sue over, which is where we are to this day had he not said the slavery line. That's wild. Let's just be honest. Kendrick Lamar kicked off the beef with Drake by dissing him and J. Cole during his verse on the Future Metro Boomin song Like That. We all know that. He ended up performing the song as well as many other GNX tracks at the Super Bowl halftime show. He did that. Drake has teased having more in store with his next studio album. In a recent post on Instagram, he wrote, "You know I grew up non-confrontational and always treated this game as a sport where my pen won gold. But these days, the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore." I didn't even know he wrote that. I'm finding this out right now. But these days, the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. What he's saying that Kendrick is up there. That's what he's saying right there. That is, to me, he's saying it's hard for us to ignore, which means he's not on the top of the podium no more. That's what he's telling you with that. I understand that this next chapter may leave you feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity, not charity, that answers some questions, especially about the unanswered texts you've been sending me. What this nigga talk about? Okay, so I'm gonna try to let me try to decipher this, because I've read this before, but I never put no thought into it right now. But I hope you see my honesty as clarity. So this dude gonna be coming out with some very, I'm going to say not emotional, but he's going to be some cleansing bars. He's going to try to be very, it sounds like he's going to be open, and he might try to go really, really hard at Kendrick this time. He may pull out that rhyme that he had for Pusha T that Jay Prince told him, no, you can't do this. It's too much. We're going to stop this battle. That's going to be, he said, Jay Prince says he would have destroyed Pusha T, right? Maybe he was going to destroy Pusha T, but Jay Prince had to step in and stop it. Or maybe he's bringing out that Drake, the Drake that has to be saved from destroying the whole, like he's going to blow up the whole game. So I guess he's going to come to blow up the whole game with this next, this next stuff that he's writing. But it says, I hope you see my honesty. Maybe he will soul search. Maybe he went and smoked that peyote or whatever and soul search. Maybe he hotboxed and went into a cave in Colorado, and maybe he walked on some hot coals and he soul searched and he meditated and found himself and found out where he could be a better person. I don't know. Maybe that will work if he came out with a whole therapeutic, his own Mr. Morale, right? Let's just be honest. Maybe he got his own Mr. Morale, and that may be what he's doing, which I doubt it. Very seriously, it ain't going to be no, I'm in therapy. I don't see this guy being in therapy for any reason. But who knows? But Daylight, I believe him. I believe that the slave line was a big turn in this battle. And I believe that turned him off to a whole lot of people. And all Kendrick had to do was add another verse and put in there, you're running to Atlanta, you're colonizing. We've never heard a dude in a battle teach you a history lesson and make the person on the other side of that lesson seem like a colonizer. Like I don't know if in the history of battle rap that somebody just he said we were all in chains. Like I don't know if that's ever happened. And it hits like it hits you like, damn, bro, this dude, he cook and let him cook right now. I'm just gonna be honest. So it's like this changed everything. So Daylight is right. It was a big mistake. Well, he made a lot of mistakes, right? He made dozens of mistakes. And I feel like that wasn't the biggest mistake, but it was a bad mistake because it led to Not Like Us being what it was with that third verse. Really is the nail. Because most of let's just be honest, a lot of the quotes come from that third verse. Gang. We're running to Atlanta. Like, listen, a lot of them quotes come from that third verse. So he's on to something. That was a big mistake, but Drake made dozens. He's continuously making mistakes, and that's why this thing isn't even close. I think, I'm going to be honest, had Drake rapped a different way from the very beginning and took this thing serious, we would have a different battle. But he came out thinking he was going to back-to-back him, right? He thought it was a joke because he thought Kendrick was like, he started to believe the own hype that Kendrick was too small of an artist. I don't know why he thought this, but he thought he was just so much bigger than him that he would easily beat him with no matter what he said. So he came out very cocky. He's had better rhymes than he did on Push. I'm just going to be honest. He's rapped better on other stuff than he rapped on Push-Ups. I'm just gonna be honest, and he came out with push-ups like, I'm killing him. Like, dog, you better, like, even I was like, you better than this guy. Like, this, to me, I'm like, this is low-key me. I know a lot of you people like, Push-Ups was the best one in the battle, or Family Man. Neither one of them. This guy raps better than both of them songs. I'm just gonna be honest. I know we supposed to hate this guy, but I think both of them songs does not express how good this guy could actually be. But again, he has a lot of people writing this stuff. We just found out that the timestamps were written by other people. So maybe I'm seeing his timestamp stuff and I'm thinking like, had he rap like that? But then we're just learning now that they may have been written by other people. So I don't even know what to say, go. Get in the comments, let me know what happened, what you think, man. Listen, I feel like Daylight can speak on this because he is a battle rapper. And apparently Mr. Drake, I study battle rap for a living. He didn't study long enough because he messed up real bad. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, hit the like button, share. And go down in the merch. We got the, I'm just going to be honest, merch, mugs, aprons, hats, shirts, all that good stuff like that there. Let me know when you get it. I'm about to do a whole new advertising video with pictures of everybody in their stuff. So let me know when you get it. Send it to me. I think the email I'm gonna use is gonna be prosperousmusic@yahoo. All right, send me that, and I got you. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
CLB.